Park Lake Journals. Journey back down the park. Just come for 24 hours. Been here a couple of hours so far. Got myself a better bait down, three baits tight on the spot. 3 different baits to begin with. I've had a couple of tench, and then not long ago I saw some fish showing just above where the bait was. Rod ripped off. This is graced the net. £21.12. Get the feeling I might be able to nick a few bites today. The weather's absolutely bang on. We've just come out of the hot weather, the 30-degree weather. We've had it for about a week now. This is the first day where the weather's a bit cooler. Yeah, weather's looking good. I'm on the spot. I've got the fish going. Have a quick look at the other side, get some snaps, and I get the rod back out. There you go. Oop. Been a long day today. Managed that one this morning about 10 o'clock. What time are we on now? About just before 8 o'clock. It's been a long day. I've watched a couple of other people catching around the lake. I made a slight change. I noticed a couple of times I'd reeled in there was a little bit of weed on my line on the rig, so I've changed over to a spinner rig, onto more of a Ronnie rig, just to lift the bait off just above the weed. And rods have been out a couple of hours now. Managed to get this £21 common. Nice frame fish, nice fish. Put up a good little scrap as well. I'll get some photos, get it back, and get the rods back in before it gets too dark. Okay, yeah, just update before we completely lose any light that there is. We were on the last little bits of light now. So my last update, obviously I'd caught that £21 common not that long ago actually. That to be fair, I really had to rush to get my rods out because there is a storm coming. It feels like it's going to be quite a wet night tonight. Wind's just really picked up as well, so it's made it quite tricky for me to get my rods back out into the positions I wanted. Finally got them into the positions, topped up with the bait with the spom. A couple of the spoms went a little bit off because there's a major crosswind now, but I am happy. What I decided to do as well, was switch one of the other rods over to a Ronnie rig too. As I mentioned, and I was rushing a little bit because I was a bit cautious of the time, knowing that the light was going down during the videoing of the fish. So a couple of times today when I've redone my rods, I'd noticed that I was pulling back a really small amount of weed, silkweed. During the day the wind has picked up, so I checked the spot this morning. It is a spot that I've fished before, but I did check it and it was as clear as anything. So the only thing I can think of is that as the wind has picked up during the day, the undertow has brought in a little bit of silkweed, a little bit of weed onto the spot that I've been fishing. So my baits maybe not have been presented as well as they could have been, which is why I switched over to the one Ronnie rig, and it was the Ronnie rig that went with that 21 pound common. So I've switched over another one, so I've got 2 Ronnie rigs out now, both pop-up match the hatch baits, Pacific tuna, CC Moors, but I've left the other one on the pop-up corn, which I caught the 21 pound mirror on earlier. So I know at least 2 of those are going to be presented perfectly overnight. Not so sure about the corn now at the moment. We'll see throughout the night, and I'll double check them in the morning, but definitely confident now on those, on the Ronnies. So yeah, a bit of a frustrating day again today here, watching a couple of other people catching fish. I've had a fish caught just 2 pegs to the left of me, fish caught, actually they've been all over the lake to be honest, on a big dam wall opposite me, which is a good 350 yards away. But yeah, been frustrating considering I'd had that fish really early on in the session this morning, and I'd had some tench as well. I know I don't really want to catch the tench, but it did mean that the bait was presented well at the beginning of the session and there were fish around. But it happens, so you know, little change in tactics worked. So hopefully I can get another one during the night, if not first thing in the morning. So fingers crossed, next update will be a fish. rain was absolutely horrific. Didn't stop once at all throughout the night. Didn't have any fish at all. No signs, no nothing, no indications on the alarms at all. Yeah, it was a rough night on the weather front. Nothing this morning either. I've had one take. I'll just pop a video of it on now. It was an insane take. Pulled into it, had it on for a couple of minutes, and then the hook pulled. Not sure why, but it was on one of the spinner rigs that I changed to yesterday that I mentioned when I caught that 21-pound common. So I'm going to give it a few more hours. The weather's better now. It's not raining, very overcast. There's a nice wind on the lake. It's not ideally pushing in the right direction. It's a bit of a northeasterly, I think it is, yeah, northeasterly wind. So it's pushing a little bit to my right and a little bit away from me, but yeah, there's clearly a few fish around after having that take. I've had another tench this morning, which doesn't surprise me at all. So yeah, give it a few more hours, see how I get on. Looks like it's time to call it a day. Nothing since I lost that one this morning. It's gone really quiet. Wind's still pushing down the other end of the lake, but it has quietened down a little bit, to be fair. It's calmed down a bit. Just the rods left in the water now. Yeah, a bit disappointed, not gonna lie. Thought I could have had a couple more fish, but it is what it is. Don't know when I'll be back down here. I've got another couple of sessions booked in for over the next couple of weeks, and then it's back to work for me, so it's going to be a bit of a squeeze trying to get back down here. Anyway, see you soon.